Hey everyone, my name is Rosie and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little bit of time since my last video, but recently I stumbled upon this picture on, I think, TikTok of an accordion house zine. Now, I've never made a zine before, but I saw this picture and thought it kind of just looked like a collage with multiple different houses in a room. Multiple different rooms in a house. And I thought that was kind of a cute idea. And so I did a little bit of research, and this picture is from a workshop from 2018. Now, since I don't have a time machine to go back in time to take this workshop, I figured we could try to make this type of collage zine thing today, because whenever I find just even the littlest bit of inspiration, I try to grab it and hold on to it very tightly, because you never know when inspiration is going to strike. So I figured we could do that today. So let's jump into this and see what kind of house zine we can make. So I have my house cut out with our 4 little rooms, and I yesterday went through and kind of collected some things that I thought might be good for this. So I first had this pack of decorative paper that my friend Carrie gave me, and I thought a couple of these were really fun and could be great wallpapers. I kind of want to do wallpaper on a couple of these walls. And also in the pack of things that she gave me is this wood texture, which I thought could be good for a floor on a couple of these, kind of maybe ground the rooms a little bit if we want to add furniture on top or something. And I also just collected a couple other things that I had cut out in things. So, things like a refrigerator, rocking chair, although I don't know if I want to cut that out, an alarm clock, chair with a cat on it, boy watching a TV. Also found a couple rooms, like here's a cool living room. Some of these might be too big. Woman cutting ham, maybe we want to have a kitchen and this woman cutting ham would be perfect. Blue, in case we want a blue wall. Some food, couch with plants, a computer, another kitchen scene, woman reading. I just have a couple things cut out that we can start with, but I kind of need to sort of figure out what might work and what's not going to work. Like this fridge, I think is kind of the perfect size. And we also have to figure out what kind of East of Honey twist we're going to add to this, because we can't just have boring, basic house things. Well, maybe we can, but anyway, we'll just figure it out as we go along. So let's talk about what I have so far. I'm thinking this second room will be kind of like a little sitting room. So I cut this wallpaper out as the background, and then I have our little wood floor. And then this couch, I think, fits really nicely right on top. Now the third room, I was really liking this boy watching TV. So I first put a ground in because I kind of thought that was cool. And then we got our boy with the TV. And then I have this chair that's facing, we're seeing the back of it, which I think kind of works in this scene. Then I found this one-way sign, which I kind of thought was fun to make it look like it's kind of like on the ceiling. Then our fourth room, I was thinking could be the bedroom. So I cut out this blue wall because I kind of liked that. Then I had this alarm clock, which I thought was just very fun and bright and huge in comparison. So I thought I would stick that right there. And then I originally had this woman sleeping, which is great, and she could be coming off from the side. And then I also found this bed, which is at a cool angle. And I kind of thought maybe it would be fun to have it kind of look like the girl is sleeping on the bed, but at this weird angle. I kind of want to integrate them a little bit more so it really looks like she's laying on this bed, but at this weird angle. But I kind of need to work on that a little bit more. I also think that maybe since this is such a bold blue and it kind of has a bold background, maybe we need to do something similar in the kitchen. At least I thought this was gonna be the kitchen, but this is the room I'm kind of struggling with. So let's talk about it for a second. What I have was this giant kitchen picture, which I really like and I think kind of fits the vibe, but I'm a little bit scared to cut it because I'm worried it's not gonna read well in such a small space. So I don't know what to do about that, but I'm gonna have to make a decision soon, obviously. Then we have our woman cutting ham, and we have this coffee cup, and we have a refrigerator. And that's what I have for the kitchen. And I don't know, it's just not coming together like the other rooms are. So I stepped away for a little bit to sort of just think about this collage a little bit because, I don't know, you get a little stuck when you're working on things, and I figured out what I really like about this and what I think is not super working. So I really love the kitchen and the bedroom. I think those are pretty solid, and I want to add windows and a door to those, and I think that will take up some of the space that's kind of missing something. But these two other rooms I feel like are just missing something and aren't quite true to me as a person. So I'm trying to think about this more as like a representation of not my house, but things that are home-y to me. And the thing that I think is missing is one, plants. I'm sitting right next to a ton of plants. I have a lot of plants in my house. So I think if I could add a plant to the living room in this, that would be great. And when it comes to this TV room where I have this boy laying in front of the TV, I think a lot of the elements in this room have to go. I don't have a son. I should just take the boy out of it because I don't think it's relevant to me. And I think what I think is missing, which is like any sort of idea around art. There's no like books or scissors or frames or any of the things that are so full in my house. Like I have art all over the walls. Obviously I have a lot of collage materials and collages that I've made. So I wanted to kind of try to incorporate that just a little bit into one of the rooms because I'm like, I love sleeping, check. I love eating, got that room, check. The living room for like relaxing and my plants, like let's get that. And then the last thing that's missing is really just like my art things. And so let's scrap that sort of TV room with the boy and get some art in there. And then I think we'll be getting into a better place. I did find this cactus, which I think could go maybe like right here behind the couch, and that could be pretty cute. So let's work on this room a little bit. So on the back of the picture that had this couch and the coffee table, I just flipped it over and found this living room, which has this bookshelf here, which I kind of really like, maybe as a background for the art room. The only thing is there's this dad and kid here, but I'm hopeful that the chair, we can get the angle right so the chair kind of covers up them. And then if I need to cover their feet down here, I can just take maybe this section of the bookshelf and put it down there, or some of this curtain here and put it down there to cover some of that up. But I think this might be a nice background. It might be kind of busy, but I think I'm kind of embracing a lot of busyness in this because I kind of am liking actually how busy it's looking. So let's try to see if that works. And then if it does, I think we're actually really close to being done. I got the backgrounds integrated and I got my elements back on, and I'm kind of really liking how this room is turning out. I think it's just busy enough, represents my art really well, and I like that there's books in the background, and the background's like kind of neutral, but has like I wanted some texture in the background with the books, with the bookshelves. And I think the color actually goes really well with this one because these images they came from the same magazine, so they kind of had the same look to them. I think we're really, really close. Last couple things I wanted to maybe do are add a door to the kitchen and maybe a window back here. We just have a couple minor little things to do, and then I think we might be done. So let's wrap those couple things up. Let's start to glue some stuff down because I'm kind of sick of dealing with all the little pieces moving around, and then we will wrap this up. This is the accordion house zine we ended up making today. I think this turned out really cute and was a really fun idea. And I'm glad I ended up making it more true to me rather than just a random house. The elements in here feel a little bit more attached to me and my home, which I think is really sweet. The only thing I want to mention if you're going to try to do this at home is to be really careful of the areas in between your rooms. If you have full background images you want to use, just try to leave a tiny bit of room on each side on the crease so it bends and folds really easily. I was able to trim mine off, so it ended up not really being a problem, but it can get a little cluttered in there if you have too many pieces of paper kind of folding on top of each other. Just wanted to mention that, to be careful of that if you're going to try to make this at home. But this was such a fun project. Thanks so much for joining me in today's video. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful summer, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.